Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is Surf and Turf Tacos. Welcome to another episode of The Sauce. If you're watching this on the day that it comes out, then Merry Christmas to you. I've got a really special recipe for you guys today on a very special occasion. It's Surf and Turf Tacos using strip steaks and lobster tails. May not seem completely traditional if you're here in the United States. We're not eating ham, we're not eating turkey, we're not making prime rib today. We're doing the alternative Christmas taco. So we've got a couple of strip steaks here, a few small lobster tails. We're gonna start with those because they'll require just a little bit more attention today. I'm gonna start by cutting down the top side of these shells. And we're doing this because we're actually going to remove the meat to grill it. We're not gonna be using the shells today. We can just kind of pop that all the way open. And then I'll work my finger underneath there and just pull that meat out. We've got that meat removed from the shells. I'm just gonna rinse it off with some water to make sure that we don't have any shells left behind before we pop that into a marinade. Now when you think about the flavors that you want to enjoy with lobster tail, some of the things that come to mind are butter, lemon, garlic. All of those things go really well with lobster and gonna do really well on our lobster and steak tacos today. And for that reason, we're gonna be using the Smoke on Wheels barbecue marinade because those are the main flavors in there. It's got olive oil, it's got butter, it's got lemon, and it's got garlic. So all of those things are gonna complement really well. And if you were making your own marinade, these are the things you'd be looking for anyway. Probably about half a bottle is gonna be plenty for today. Press the air out of that. All right, and we're gonna let those sit for probably about 45 minutes. Now the steaks we're gonna treat just a little bit differently to add some variety to our taco. When I'm thinking about eating tacos, a couple of things I'm thinking about is getting a nice chili flavor infused and drinking a cold beer, right? So we're gonna mix those things today, starting off with the Sweetwater Spice Trace chilies. So we're gonna do about 1.5 cups of each. For our beer, you can see we're using a nice light Mexican lager. All right, so those are fully submerged. We get the air out of there, and we'll let those soak for about 45 minutes to an hour as well. While we're waiting on the meats to marinate, for the grill to come up to temperature, we're gonna start putting together some of the other ingredients for the taco, starting with a cilantro lime crema. For our base, we're using 1/2 cup of sour cream, and I'm gonna add to that a couple tablespoons of crumbled cotija cheese, and then some fresh cilantro. So we're just gonna mince this down nice and fine, probably want, maybe 2 tablespoons or so. And we're gonna take some lime, and I'm gonna cut this into wedges so we have some wedges to serve with later as well. We'll just take a little bit of that juice and drizzle that over the top. It's probably gonna be about a teaspoon or so. Then I'm gonna add just a touch of heat with some green chili sauce. This isn't terribly spicy, but it's got a little bit of kick, and this is totally optional. It's up to your preference. Kind of mix all that around. And then as we kind of get these things incorporated, I'm gonna add a touch of smoked salt as well. It's nice. I could use a little bit more heat, maybe just a little bit more tang out of the lime. So I'm gonna add maybe another 1/2 teaspoon of lime, a little bit more hot sauce. So now I want to think about this taco as a whole now. We've got this crema that's creamy, it's a little bit tangy, it's got a little bite to it. We've got these two meats that we're going to cook on the grill, so we'll have that char, bring the barbecue flavor into it. What we need now, I think, is a little bit of freshness and a little bit of texture. So we've got the fresh cilantro, always a great touch when you're finishing off a taco. And then we've got some of this curly endive. Now this stuff's a little bit bitter, but it's got a really great freshness to it. And it's got just enough bite down here in the stems to add some really nice texture to the taco. And when we mince that down nice and fine, it's got a really great mouthfeel. All right, so we've got the freshness covered now, and there's one more thing I can think of that's really going to elevate this taco, and that's a fried element. So we're gonna take some pickled jalapeno slices, do a very simple dredge on them, and throw them into a pan fry real quick. So here we've got just some store-bought pickled jalapeno slices. This is about a half cup of buttermilk, and then we've got a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna add, maybe about 2 teaspoons of smoked salt to that. All right, so into the buttermilk with the jalapeno slices, on over to our seasoned flour. We'll just kind of toss those around. And then right into the hot oil. That's sitting at about 350, 375 right now. All right, in about 3 minutes time, you've got this nice golden brown color. That's what we're going for. Perfect crunch. And that's it. Well, we've gotten a lot done in the last 45 to 60 minutes. It's time to take the meat out of the marinade and get it on the grill. Already getting all kinds of garlicky aroma coming off of the lobster here. Ooh, and these steaks, that smells like beer and chilies. All right, we're gonna get these seasoned up. We're keeping it real simple today with the Cattleman's Grill 8-second ride. This is Carne Asada seasoning. It's got salt, garlic, chili peppers, pretty much everything you want out of a Carne Asada seasoning. And we're using that residual marinade on the surface to help allow that rub to stick up on there. We're gonna get these steaks on first because that lobster is gonna take no time at all to cook. And as you can see, we're cooking on the Yoder Smoker's griddle here. And this thing is smoking hot. It's been preheating at 450 degrees inside the YS640 pellet grill. We're gonna use that exact same seasoning on the lobster tails as well. And like I said, these are gonna go pretty quick once we get them on the griddle. So we'll just let them sit here and soak up the seasoning for a bit while we give the steaks a head start. Getting some nice looking marks on there from the griddle. I might go ahead and just flip that one over. Beautiful. We're starting to develop some really nice color on the outside of the steaks, but we need that internal to come up. So I'm gonna close the door and just let it cook away. All right, so these are coming up on about 100 internal temperature, so we're gonna move them back here to the back. In fact, we can probably flip them and get some more pretty grill marks on there. And then we're gonna bring the lobster right here to the center of the griddle. So we're getting a little bit of color on this lobster here, so we're just gonna flip these over. We don't wanna overcook them. As you can see, we're getting some nice looking color on these steaks back here as well. Just waiting on that internal to creep up to about 120. This lobster will be shooting for more like a 135. All right, the thinner of our two steaks is up to 120 now, so we're gonna take that guy off. Just continue to kind of turn this lobster and get some color on all sides. $130 on our lobster there. 135. So that's right about where we want it, at 135 to 140 range. All right, we're just about to pull this last steak off, so I'm gonna throw some tortillas down to warm. Perfect. All right, well, let's get this stuff all diced and sliced up so we can make our tacos. Kind of go about this any way you like. If you want to serve it in slices, that's cool, or you can cube it up. Ooh, look at that perfectly pink center. I think I'll give us some kind of bite-sized pieces here and toss those back in the juice on the plate. And then we'll just do the same thing with those lobster tails. Let's take a look at those. Cooked all the way through. Maybe take a little taster here. Oh man, so tender. I love the way that carne asada rub mixes with the butteriness of that marinade that we soaked it in. It's gonna be a great taco. All right, let's fill them up. Do just a little bit that endive in the bottom here. All right, then we're coming in with the steak first. Then the lobster. Let's hit that with a little bit of our crema here. Nice creamy, tangy sauce. And then we'll give it the crunch and the tang of those pickled fried jalapenos right there on top. And just a sprinkle of some mint cilantro on top. And that looks just about right. This one's calling my name. I'm not mad about that. Man, there's a lot going on. You get the seafood part of the lobster for sure. There's a bit of spice on my tongue, probably from that marinade we did the steak in, a little bit from that carne asada. I love it. The crunch of the fried pickled jalapeno, fantastic. It's not too heavy though. We got that freshness, we got that greenness coming from the endive, from the cilantro. It's all working together just right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce, and we'll see you next year. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.